Hey everybody, today we are here in Valencia to check out Ciclosferia, an expo on bikes all about urban commuting, transportation, and travel. So let's see what we can find. This interesting bike is by the brand called Ruina Bikes, which I think translates to kind of like broke bikes, kind of poking fun at the cheap bike market. What's cool about this is that it's 100% made here in Valencia. The construction method, they laser cut some steel plates, then fold it over and then weld it. That's why it's got this kind of unique shape to it. You can get it spec'd out in different ways with an internal gear hub, with an electric motor, or just full on analog. And I think that's pretty cool. It's cool to have fun bikes that have a soul that don't cost an arm and a leg. This is a pretty cool bike by the brand called Ethnic. They focus primarily on tricycles. They have a whole variety from super off-road capable ones with full suspension. This one really caught my eye because not only is it a tricycle, it's got a motor, but it can also fold. The total weight for this is about 25 kilograms. You can also get it without the motor if you wanted to save some money and some weight. You can put up to a 2.15 inch wheel. This might be the most rugged looking way to carry an Ortlade painter. So we're here with Miguel from Ciclosferia Bikes. Your bikes look very interesting.
Thank you so much.
Why design the frame like this?
Because I want to design something different. You know, we can keep the same functionality, but we can change the shape, no? We can try to do something new, but new for real. I had a vision, and this vision now it's this frame. Yeah. So I think I catch my goal to keep the same functionality, in this case, to ride a bicycle, yeah, but something really different. I want this kind of bicycle with this kind of shape. So basically, I design a bicycle for myself.
Well, they're very beautiful and eye-catching.
Thank you so much.
So this is one of the interesting products here at the show. This is by a brand called Carbo. They have these helmets that you charge via USB, and they have these remote controls that you can put on your handlebars, and check that out. It turns it into turn signals. You can also connect it to your phone via an app to kind of configure how you want the lights to display. They're super smart in that if you fall over, triggers the app, and if you don't respond in a given time, it actually calls like an emergency number. Other cool features that he showed us on the helmet is that the visor is magnetic. You can just pop it off and on. On this one, you've got a whole array of lenses. You can put sunglasses for the chromatic ones, or just run it clear if you want to avoid the wind. So I don't know who the owner of this bike is, but this thing looks absolutely wild. It's got these super loopy bars. This is a twine wrap. Probably my favorite thing about it is this picnic setup. This looks like a folding table that pops out when you undo the leather strap. It's got this little canteen that one would put beverages, and also a little leather cup holder down here. Some Harley vibes, some Western vibes. Love it. So one of the big trends I'm super into these days are cargo bike mini velos, and these two bikes are a perfect example of them. But check it out. It looks like it's got 20-inch wheels, a super cute mast here to put an integrated rack. This is kind of like if you took an Omnium and shrunk it down with a shrink ray. I think these bikes make perfect sense in the city, really easy to get in an elevator. Plus the smaller wheels tend to be stronger. And they just put all the load closer down to the ground. This is another pretty cool example. This time it's got a pivoting steering mechanism here, similar to the Blinky, similar to the Omnium, but again, smaller wheels all around, which I think make a lot of sense for urban cargo bikes. So this is a brand called Valencia, and all their bike names are inspired by 80s, 90s grunge. So we have a bike here called Far Away. What's cool about the bikes is that they're all made in titanium. They're designed in Alicante, but produced in Taiwan. So these are similar frames. The big difference is this one has a suspension fork. Tire clearance is 57, and it's got a pretty interesting geometry. So long effective top tube, short stem. The head tube angle is 68 degrees. So the kind of that more modern, slackish front end geometry. And the rear end here is 430. So kind of chill and slack in the front, but still relatively snappy in the back. Another cool touch is The frame has mounting points, so you can put a top tube bag mount, a frame bag like this, without having straps rubbing on the finish. This is a pretty cool, interesting variation of the bike, a little bit more up our alley in the alt bike ATB build. So you got your flat bars, carbon fork. So super flexible bike. You can do it as a drop bar bike, drop bar with suspension, or this kind of more rigid build. This is an interesting bag company here called Shad. They're designed in Barcelona, and this one really caught my eye because it kind of mixes different elements. You've got this hard box container, I don't know if you can hear it. So it's super durable, holds its shape, but this is pretty interesting. It's got a cargo net that you can take on and off, as well as a secure flap. I guess this will help keep the water out, but kind of a cool mix of different bag design elements. We're here with Raphael from Brompton, and he's got the brand new 12-speed titanium. How do you guys accomplish the 12 speeds on the new bikes?
Right, so you have on your right the 3 gears that will change in the internal hub gear. On your left hand you have 4 gears that will change the 4 sprockets that you have. Traditional folding from Brompton, so it doesn't change the folding. It's a great bike. It has almost the same range of a road bike, 11 speed, so pretty much can do everything, climb, descend. You won't have that feeling of missing gears, neither for climbing, neither for descending.
So for the rear hub, is it the same Sturmey Archer hub that you guys used in the past?
Yes, it's the same Sturmey Arch hub, correct. And the 4 sprockets, that's the same from the P line.
And does the 12-speed make it to all the different lines of the Brompton? Is it on the P line, the C line, and everything?
So currently, the 12-speed, we have the 12-speed on T line, we have the 12-speed on P line and P line electric, and we also have the 12-speed on C line electric.
Cool.
So you can have the 12-speed on the electric versions as well.
So I saw that feature. Is that only available on the T line, like being able to put the pedal in the fork?
No, the pedal, this removable pedal is also available on the P line.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you have the same technology in the P line and on the T line.
Oh.
Take it.
Oh, it's light. Do you guys have the P line with the 12-speed here? I'm curious what the weight difference is between the two. All right, here, you hold us for a second.
Sure.
It's close, but this definitely feels much lighter. Well, thank you, Raphael, and hopefully I'll get a chance to hop on these really quick and tell you guys what I think about them on the bike. We're gonna mix things up. I'm taking out the T line first, and then the P line, and see if there's much of a noticeable difference between the all titanium versus the mix of steel and titanium. And holy cow, it's bright. Okay, here it is. Let's see how it goes. Wow, this thing really moves. Interesting, like there's a little bit of flex in the handlebars. I think they're carbon. But the position is definitely on the low side. Oh man, it goes. Let's do one more lap because it's too much fun. So Brompton's already accelerated pretty quickly, but this feels like it's got a little turbo boost going on. It's so crazy to have so many gears to choose from on this thing. Okay, so there's the T-line. Pretty sweet build. Whew. All right, so this is the P-line, and it still accelerates pretty dang good. I do feel like the T-line is just a hair bit snappier. I mean, both of them accelerate pretty well, but like, dang, the T-line just ruins you. Oh, but this is pretty good. I'd be pretty happy with this. And to be honest, most of the time, I'm not going to be field sprinting. It's going to be all about the lower gears, you know, carrying stuff on the bike, and really making good use of the 12 speeds. I'm going to do it one more time just because I can't believe that the materials make that much of a difference. I mean, it definitely goes, but there was just more snap. Oh. Okay, so here's my verdict. This is the P-line version of the Brompton 12-speed. I just rode it back to back with the 12-speed all titanium version, and I'm actually surprised at how much quicker to accelerate the Taiwan feels like. I didn't think it was gonna be that big of a difference. I knew there'd be some difference. That one felt like you were riding Mario Kart and just hit a mushroom and got some turbo boost. This one, still snappier than what they would call the C-line or the M6 that we used to ride. So definitely an upgrade from that, but quite the noticeable difference between the P and the T. The big question is, kind of hard to avoid, is it worth that extra 2K premium? Because I don't know, if I had Seth's Bike Hacks money, I would totally go for the T-line, but as it stands, I think if I were to get a new Brompton, it would probably be the P-line, since it kind of balances that oomph of speed while still keeping it somewhat reasonable again. I know it's a spendy bike, but yeah. All right, so the next bike I'm gonna take out is the Ruina bike. So this is one that's supposed to be budget friendly. It's all made in Spain. Let's see how it goes. It's kind of strange to have like no tube here whatsoever. This is like an extreme step through. It's pretty fun. The handling takes a little bit of getting used to, but it goes. Okay, let's take a little bit closer look at the construction here. This one's got a 7-speed Nexus, quill stem, super upright bars that sweep back. I think one thing that's pretty interesting is that even though it has small wheels, it feels super stable when you steer. I think part of that is because of like the relatively like slack head tube angle here. Whoa. So that kind of helps it from feeling squirrely, even though it has smaller wheels. Step through is super interesting. It's almost begging for like some kind of bag, or you could probably put a sign there. The dropouts in the rear here are a sliding dropout. This one's got disc brakes. And what does this come in at? This one's about €500, which for a really interesting bike, handmade completely in Spain, is pretty cool. Okay, so the next bike I'm going to test out is a bike that's sold at Casper Bikes in Barcelona, and the brand is called Biba Bikes. So this is that super interesting Omnium style front loader, but both with a small front and rear wheels. So let's give it a go, see if it's strange, how it rides. Oh. Okay. Wow, this is so interesting. Okay, so the position is definitely very upright. And again, this bike, it seems like it would be really squirrely, but it's actually really nice and nimble and fairly stable. Let's see how the turning radius is here. Okay, I'm gonna have to put the foot down. So this one's only got 3 speeds, so definitely made for flatter city riding. All right, Laura's testing out the other one. What do you think?
It's fun.
You want to switch?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, this is another bike by the brand Biba. This one has got a coaster brake. It's got a cool kind of pillar design to support a rack that extends to the front to have a front rack. So let's see how it rides. Okay, this one feels like a little bit more nimble. Oh man, it's been forever since I've used a coaster brake. Oh, it's got a front brake too, thank God. Man, both of these bikes are super fun. Of the two, this one definitely, I wouldn't say is squirrely, but more responsive. A little tighter turning radius, probably more small elevator friendly. Coaster brakes are scary. Yeah. Cool, so this is the Biba. And if you like this content, please consider supporting the channel by joining us on Patreon, buying a shirt, all that good stuff. As always, keep the supple side down.